Tonight on NAIT NewsWatch.
The year's first snowfall is creating hazards for drivers and people without proper shelter.
To stress the importance. We are facing a crisis.
We see how NAIT's Career Month helps students build their skills.
Face-to-face with a person, then a piece of paper with a resume on it. You get to learn a lot more about a person and build a connection.
And how your neighborhood might have some new residents this season.
Big, thick bushes, try to trim them a little bit because those can be good shelters for coyotes.
NewsWatch starts now.
Good evening. Though we all knew it would come sooner or later, winter has arrived.
And as always, it is unforgivable, but some people suffer more from it than others. Our Cole Mercer joins us live from our news center with more on that story.
Thanks, guys. The sudden snowfall has reminded us of what winter can have in store for us. But it's in times like these that we often forget that while we're trying to warm ourselves up, some people don't have that kind of access.
The week started out with excitement, with Canada going against Mexico in soccer here at Commonwealth Stadium. Fans were looking forward to the match, as this one was a qualifier for the World Cup. That changed when heavy snow hit Edmonton on Monday. Though it was later than normal, it hit the city hard. This caused countless vehicle accidents, including multiple buses, and the city has since activated a Phase 1 parking ban.
And that's not the only problem that the city of Edmonton is facing. Many shelters, like the Bissell Center here, are filling up beds faster than they can get new ones, leaving many more people out in the freezing cold. However, the mayor of Edmonton is working on a solution to that problem.
So I've been working hard from day one to tackle this issue and talk to anyone that I had the opportunity to do so, to stress the importance. We are facing a crisis.
Alberta has invested $21.5 million to help battle against homelessness. With how the numbers have been recently, many agree this is a major step in the right direction.
So according to Homeward Trust's by name list, there's approximately 2,800 Edmontonians experiencing homelessness currently, and that number is double what it was at the end of 2019. So we know the pandemic has greatly increased the number of people experiencing homelessness here. The reason we're at council today, or committee today, is because we have identified this gap, and we want to put in place the steps that we are taking to address the service gap. But we still know that we need to await some further decisions from the government of Alberta.
The new budget will help increase capacity in shelters, going from 720 beds to 1,280 beds. This will help solve an earlier problem faced this week, where we were missing 420 beds. This now means that there are more than enough to go around for those who need them.
So Cole, where is the money being distributed?
Well, out of the $21.5 million, $13 million is going towards shelters all over the province. $6.5 million are going to COVID isolation facilities that will be treated for homeless people who have come across the virus. And $2 million are going to women's shelters, since domestic violence has also increased since the pandemic has started.
Is there a way that people can help in this situation?
Well, many shelters themselves have their own websites which tell them what they need. So if you know of a shelter that you can want to help, head to their website and see what they need. Right now, they could go for jackets, scarves, and gloves.
Thanks, Cole. That's Cole Mercer reporting live from our news center tonight.
You're watching NAIT NewsWatch.
Coyotes are moving further and further into cities, and one group is doing their best to keep you and coyotes safe.
So someone who feeds coyotes either intentionally or not intentionally, then it could make coyotes more prone to visiting your neighborhood.
Coyote sightings are becoming more common as wild areas become smaller. Coyotes are drawn in looking for food. Hiking trails, ravines, and river valleys tend to be their favorite spots, but that doesn't mean they will stay in those areas.
Coyotes don't tend to go in people's yards, for example, or in people's neighborhoods if there's nothing there for them. So it's about controlling things like don't leave your pet food outside, don't leave your pets outside without making sure that you're keeping an eye for them.
Other precautions you can take are keep bird feed and fruits off the ground, keep lids on garbage, and pets on leashes. Loud noises will also help to scare off coyotes.
Due to the increased number of COVID patients flooding the hospitals, AHS had to make the difficult decision to postpone surgeries that are not deemed to be an emergency. While COVID numbers in the province continue to come down, the fourth wave has had a brutal impact on hospitals, which has led to surgical resources being moved to the intensive care unit. While patients wait to receive the care they need, the delays may be affecting their day-to-day lives.
It was brutal. Like I say, the restrictions, because of the severity, I couldn't do anything. So I've been in isolation. I was in isolation more or less for 3 months. I couldn't, like I say, I had to stay away from people so I didn't get sick. So it was a huge stressor.
It may be months until surgery wards are back up and running at full strength.
It's Career Month here at NAIT, with lots of workshops and seminars to help you hear those 3 magic words. You are hired.
Well, kind of. I got like a couple emails about it, kind of read about it a little bit.
From resume building to leadership and confidence building, NAIT is hosting many online events all month long, giving students the skills they'll need to be successful in searching for a job. You can sign up for any number of these workshops through your NAIT portal account.
Well, I know the biggest one for me would be teaching about resume writing.
I think the interviews would make a lot more sense face-to-face with the person.
The resume ones, those ones are always good, coming out of school, looking to get into an industry, whatever it is that you're trying to do.
The workshops run until December 1st and are different every day. So if this seems like something you'd like, why not check out the options on your MyNAIT account and sign up online.
Coming up after the break, we'll see how one local group is innovating the local transportation industry.
They found one novel way of making your daily commute: unicycles.
We ride about the same speed as e-bikes. We can use the same infrastructure in terms of bike lanes as e-bikes.
We've got Commonwealth Stadium, we have soccer, and we have probably the most Canadian weather you could possibly ask for. All that and more coming up on sports.
And coming up in weather, I'll let you guys know if you can be expecting more of this or some of this.
Well, it was only a matter of time until the snow showed up.
That's right, Nathan. But can we expect to see more snow coming this weekend? Our Ben Druin is here to tell us just that.
Thanks, guys. Well, I've got some good news for you. Looks like we're going to be looking forward to a pretty nice and pretty clear weekend. So right now it's a really good time to just get out, enjoy the snow, enjoy the winter, at least until around Monday, Tuesday, when the snow starts to really come back and, dump on us. So going to start off in Calgary. We're looking at a little mix of sun and cloud, 40% chance of the evening flurries. Morning low of -5 and afternoon high of 2. Going to be pretty mild in Calgary. Sunday, it's going to get a little bit colder, though. We're going to have a mix of sun and cloud with a morning low of -14 that day. Down in Jasper, going to be just a little bit colder. Cloudy with a 60% chance of flurries. Morning low of -9 and afternoon high of -7. It's going to remain pretty consistent throughout the day. Sunday, mix of sun and cloud. We can expect it to be a little bit colder in the morning, though, with a morning low of -12 and an afternoon high of 3. So it will warm up throughout that day. Fort McMurray, however, is going to be pretty cold this weekend. We're looking at cloudy with a 60% chance of flurries. Temperatures steadily falling throughout the day. Morning low of -12, and in the afternoon it's going to be -16. Sunday is going to be even colder with a mix of sun and cloud. Morning low of -22 that day. Going to warm up to -16 in the afternoon. Here in Edmonton, like I said, going to be nice and mild. We're going to have a mix of sun and cloud with just a 30% chance of flurries. Morning low of -12. In the afternoon, it's going to warm up to about -3. Sunday, it'll be just slightly colder, mostly cloudy with a morning low of -15 and an afternoon high of -7, so still not that bad. Averages for this year are about what we're seeing right now. It's an average high of -2 and an average low of -10, so just those nice normal temperatures. The records, we're going to be seeing -15 degrees, in 1917. With a record low of -34 in 1896. Let's be really glad we're not seeing that right now. Well, that's all I've got, guys. Thanks a lot.
NewsWatch Weather is brought to you by NR92, the station for the students.
E-scooters and e-bikes have been an alternative way to travel in Edmonton during the summer for years now, but electrical unicycles, also known as wheels, are becoming quite popular. While the popularity of e-unicycles is growing, there is one more obstacle that stands in their way. YAG Wheels is a local EUC group that is looking to get wheels in the same category as e-scooters and e-bikes as an alternative mode of transportation.
We have a lot of similarities to e-bikes and the profile of the way we ride about the same speed as e-bikes. We can use the same infrastructure in terms of bike lanes as e-bikes. And it makes so much sense for us to be treated that way that I just don't see how they can avoid doing that.
While riders wait for wheels to get their regulations to be addressed, O'Neill will continue to teach people how to ride. Soccer fans had a lot to be excited about over the past week, Robert.
That's right. From Alphonso Davies being back in Edmonton to our very own NAIT's men's soccer team bringing home a medal from nationals, our Caitlin Pobersnick will take you through those and more.
Yeah, thanks, guys. After a patriotic showing at the Costa Rica versus Canada game last week, thousands of fans gathered back at Commonwealth Stadium on Tuesday to help push Canada to another win. Fans managed to bear the cold for the match, knowing that they couldn't miss their hometown legend Alphonso Davies playing on Edmonton soil once again. Team Canada used their experience playing in colder weather to their advantage, knowing that Mexico wouldn't be as prepared.
This has an advantage. There was a genuine opportunity here to bring out the Canadian in our players. They've all grown up on plastic pitches, in cold conditions. So, for us, we wanted them to feel like it was home. And for the Mexicans, they had to adapt, like we had to adapt to altitude.
With Canada sweeping both of their games, they're now in first place in the World Cup qualifier standings, right above the United States and Mexico. Canada's next game is January 27th against Honduras. NAIT's men's soccer team took nationals by storm last week, taking home a bronze after a hard-fought season.
He's getting a little bit more run today in this game. And it's Mahesh. Oh, another breakaway here for Mahesh. What can he do?
The Elks defeated Nomads Montmorency in overtime, winning 3-2 in the final matchup. The team believes they kicked it into high gear for their final games.
Just talking with the guys in private meetings as a team, we basically came together and said, we're not going home. You know what I mean? You lose 2 games, you go home. And we, it wasn't just the medal. We didn't want to go home. We wanted to stay in Calgary.
This is the team's first national medal since scoring gold in 2011. With preseason coming to a close and regular season kicking off for NAIT teams, the gymnasium and ice rink are finally seeing home opener action after a 19-month drought. The women's hockey team made their mark with a 4-1 win over the Red Deer Queens in their home opener last Friday. Volleyball, basketball, and men's hockey are all prepping for their home games this weekend, and with fans back in stands, it's an exciting time to be a collegiate athlete.
Yeah, we're super excited for our 2021-22 home openers, especially because we lost the whole 2020-21 season. So there's a lot of players that are on our teams that just haven't played a regular season game with us, even though they've been on our teams for 2 years. So it's a super exciting weekend.
Games can be watched on ACAC TV with a subscription purchase of $12.99 for the term, and tickets are being sold at concession on game days. You can find updates and game schedules on the NAIT Elks website. Now, there's no doubt that the Edmonton Elks have had a rough season, and with their final game happening tonight against the BC Lions, their off-season will be a little bit longer than they had hoped for. The team did manage to clinch a win against first-place team in the East, the Toronto Argonauts, on Tuesday. The win doesn't help them much, though, seeing that they aren't making the playoffs, but with a big roster change, bringing Taylor Cornelius into the quarterback slot, I mean, who knows? Maybe they'll be playoff bound in 2022.
Anything can happen. They could turn it around real quick. Look back to 2013 when they had a 4-win season that year. And then all of a sudden, Chris Jones comes in as a head coach in 2014, and they turned things right around. They won 12 games that year and 14 the next on the way to winning that 2015 Grey Cup. So it can be like that, or it can be a big, long, drawn-on drought like Winnipeg.
The Elks currently stand in last place in the West with a record of 3-10. Now, it's sad not seeing the Elks make the playoffs, Nathan, but are you still going to keep up even though your team isn't necessarily in it anymore?
You know, Caitlin, I will keep my eye on the CFL. I am interested to see who's going to raise the Grey Cup.
And that's fair. I mean, Robert, you went to Canada Soccer on Friday to the Costa Rica game. You chose the warmer game. Are you happy you picked the warmer out of the two?
Well, if I had to pick the two, I would have rather have gone to the Mexico one. But the fact that I got to see even one of them is pretty cool for me.
Well, thanks, guys. I'll send it back to you two at the desk.
Coming up after the break, we'll see what one local charity is doing to help those in need this winter.
They're taking donations not in money, but in coats and hats for the cold weather.
Everyone in the community is given the proper clothing that they need so that during the winter time, especially when it gets really cold, they can be warm and safe.
In entertainment, we take a look at 4 performances happening around Edmonton this weekend. With 2 musicals and 2 plays, there's something for everyone. So make sure you stay with us to find out which ones you would like to watch.
Apparel for Newswatch provided by TLA Development.
With winter arriving in Edmonton this past week, many people are in need of warm winter clothing.
United Way are accepting winter clothing donations with their Coats for Kids charitable event. Coats for Kids and Family are on a mission to help people warm up as our temperatures go down. They're looking for everything from kids and adult coats to hats, mitts, and socks. While the kids and women's clothing are plentiful, they're still in need of men's coats.
A lot of items that we take in, anything related to winter we take in. We get a lot of winter coats, especially for kids' coats and women's coats. The dire need that we have is for men's coats. We have a huge amount of people who need them, and we can never keep up with the demand.
Coats for Kids will run until February 28th, 2022. They have plenty of drop-off locations, so if you are interested, visit one of their websites to find the closest donation center.
There are many performances going on in Edmonton this weekend. Theaters around the city are well into their 2021 season.
With so many shows happening, our Nicole Gruber is here to share with us a few to check out over the weekend.
Thanks, Robert. Edmonton is seeing many new shows open this month. The Grindstone Theatre is putting on their newest show, and this entire week it's been sold out. Jason Kenney's Hot Boy Summer the Musical is about a newly elected student union president, Jason Kenney, at the U of A set in 1983. He and his frat are planning the hottest year-end party, but his biggest enemy, Rachel, is plotting against him. Soon his frat mates and friend, Dina Hinshaw, start turning against him as well.
When I come out, most of the audience dislikes me, and then I win them over, and because they're like, oh, I can't cheer for Kenny, but I'm cheering for Kenny.
The show is now extended and will be running December 9th to 16th. Tickets are available online at thegrindstonetheatre.ca. The Citadel Theatre is continuing their season with in-person performances, and this month, a comedy with smart, hilarious women at its center.
All right.
The Fiancé is a story about Lucy, who gets engaged to 3 men during World War II because no one should have to go overseas without someone to come home to. But then all 3 return and show up at her apartment at the same time.
I wanted to write a show where women got to do the comedy. They got to be the center of it. They got to be the ones who are slamming the doors and tripping over the furniture. There's student pricing if you call the box office. That is significantly cheaper than the standard pricing because we love when students come see the show. They're the most lively houses.
Student pricing is available for shows on Tuesdays and Wednesdays and is $24. You can get them by calling the box office or showing your student ID when buying tickets in person. The show runs till November 28th. Northern Light Theatre's opening night for the Great Whorehouse Fire of 1921 is tonight. Based on real events, the play imagines what happened on Boxing Day 1921 in Big Valley. No records were ever found on how the house burnt down that night, but locals said it was a whorehouse. Both the director and playwright were drawn to the story.
I think this version of the play is darker and deeper than it was originally envisioned, even by the playwright. And so I think that that's exciting to see that world come to life.
Tickets must be bought 24 hours in advance online. The show will be held at the Varscona Theatre and it's running till November 28th. Jubilation's Dinner Theater's tour, Girls Just Want to Have Fun, is now in Edmonton following its Calgary performances.
I'm so happy to be back on stage. I just feel like my life is back on track and I'm back doing what I want to do, what I'm the best at, what I love the most, so I'm very happy.
The show is about two sisters being hired by their aunt to sing songs for her resort. It features songs from the ladies of the 80s, such as Madonna and Cyndi Lauper.
One thing that's really nice is we actually get to go interact with audience members at their tables. So it's just a really interactive, sort of immersive experience, which is awesome. So please come out, we love it.
Along with the show, you also get a 3-course meal of your choice, and there is a student discount if you would like tickets. The show runs till January 23rd. NAIT Student Association put on a Mario Kart tournament Thursday night at the Nest Eatery on NAIT's campus. Students registered online to compete in a friendly competition. The first place winner gets a $100 gift card of their choice, and the second place winner a $75 card. Many people came out to show off their gaming skills.
Probably getting to play with people, whether it's friends or just new people, and just kind of experience and bond over just a fun time.
Going fast and winning to the point where they think I'm cheating.
My favorite thing about Mario Kart is definitely the amount of chaos it can cause. You have no idea what's going to happen midway through a race. Someone can get a lightning bolt or a blue shell.
NAITSA has more events happening this month, such as how to decorate cakes, puppy yoga, and paint and pour. You can visit ookslife.ca to find out more about these and other events. So, Robert, any shows catching your eye for this weekend?
Actually, the Hot Boy Summer one seems interesting. I'd love to see Kenny act like a frat boy.
Nathan, are you catching any live theater this weekend or just the Oilers game?
Well, I am a former theater kid, but the Oilers are playing the Chicago Blackhawks, so I might just have to stick with hockey.
All right. Well, anyways, that's all for me. Thank you, guys.
Thanks for tuning into this week's episode of NAIT NewsWatch.
If you want to see more, you can visit our website at naitnewswatch.ca or find us on Twitter at NAIT NewsWatch. I'm Robert Bradley.
And I'm Nathan Carlson. See you next time.